Viewers, I need to move on, because when we talk about justice, we cannot forget about another travesty. When the piercing glare of the world began to strip away the thin patina of mendacity, when Hindus for one spoke up as one, Muhammad Yunus, the interim head of the Bangladesh government, couldn't help but bring himself to acknowledge the rising tide of xenophobia directed against the minority community in his own country. In a show of solidarity, Yunus landed up with an entourage of worthies from his administration at an iconic Hindu temple in the heart of Dhaka. There you can see him, viewers, smiling as if they were there for a ribbon cutting ceremony, not a solemn occasion. Nonetheless, here at this temple, he made it a point to reassure Hindus that he was a secular-minded liberal committed to the language of human rights. But no amount of posing for the cameras in starched kurtas at Hindu temples can heal the wounds of Hindus in Bangladesh. Only justice can do that, justice that is done and seen to be done. Sadly, there is no indication forthcoming from the Yunus-led interim administration that it is committed to delivering it. On the contrary, the state seems intent upon viewing guilt through a highly selective lens. A decision has been taken to only prosecute one set of rioters in Bangladesh. So those who did the deposed Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's bidding by violently cracking down on her opponents will go to jail. But those who participated in the post-coup retributive bloodletting will escape censure. Viewers, they will all escape censure. Which means, viewers, that those that attacked Hindus, this selective promise of justice means that those that attacked Bangladeshi Hindus, who are seen, unfortunately, as pro-Hasina and thus targeted, all those, viewers, will not be brought to justice. And in the process, Bangladeshi Hindus will be denied the right to legal redress. And I want to ask some fundamental questions tonight, viewers, and let's open this up. First, let me bring in Dr. Ranganathan, and then I want to bring in a notable journalist from Bangladesh. Dr. Ranganathan, we have Mr. Khalidi with us. He's the editor-in-chief of a very well-respected Bangladeshi news portal. I want you to first tell me, Dr. Ranganathan, do you believe, after yesterday's visit to a temple, that the Yunus government, the interim government, is committed to providing justice to the minority community, especially the Hindu community?
Rahul, he might be committed, but that does not change the situation on the ground. It is out of his control. Let me repeat this. The genie is out of the bottle, like it was in Pakistan, like it was in erstwhile before Ms. Sheikh Hasina came to power, like it has been in most Islamic countries. The fact of the matter is that even under Sheikh Hasina, Hindus were being discriminated against, they were being killed, raped, their houses and properties pillaged. The situation is calamitous. But the point here, I want to make this important point. Yes, there are people who are legitimately blaming the Bangladesh authorities. Yes, because in district after district, Lalmonirhat, Chandarpur, Hatibanda, Panchgarh, Pataukhali, in fact, 27 districts till the last count, Hindu houses have been torched, shops looted, temples desecrated, ISKCON temple vandalized, deities burned. Yes, that has happened. But are we repeating the facts out here? Yes, the fact is that 11.3 million Bangladeshi Hindus were forced to flee between 64 and 2013. Yes, it's a fact. Yes, it's a fact that 2.4 million perished in 1970-71 genocide. Yes, it's a fact that 1.2 million Hindu families have since been dispossessed of 2 million acres of land. These are all facts.
Yes.
But we can't do anything about it. The question I want to pose, Rahul, through you, is what is in our hands? We have the CAA. It must no longer be remaining an amnesty. We have to arm it. We have to use the authority at our command. We cannot just let thousands of Hindus waiting patiently chest deep in water of Teesta, infested with snakes and alligators, waiting for us to open the doors when we haven't opened them for 4 days. The least we can do is set up detention centers on our side of the border to at least give them some breathing space so that they don't have to return to certain death. I don't blame the Bangladeshi authorities or Islamists. That's what they do. I am blaming us. What are we doing, Rahul?
Absolutely. Dr. Ranganathan, on both accounts, many people will identify with your point of view. Mr. Khalidi, are some lives cheaper than others, more disposable than others in Bangladesh? If not, why aren't cases being filed against those who indulged in post-coup retributive justice? Why only those that crack down on the protesters?
Problem is perpetrators have never been brought to justice, have never been punished in this country. Even when Sheikh Hasina was calling the shots, when even in the early 70s, immediately after independence, when two generals ruled this country, when Khaleda Zia was in power, Sheikh Hasina ran this country for 21 years in the last 30 years, out of 30, 21 out of 30. So politicians have acted like criminals here. So unless and until you can fix it with the politicians, this will continue. And this time what happened is almost everyone, not just Hindus, anyone who's remotely linked to Sheikh Hasina has been attacked. All, I mean, Awami League activists and leaders at all levels have been attacked. So this is a different situation. It's not just, the Hindus were attacked. No, everyone was attacked. So, and another problem was first 3 days, there was no government. Police was completely dysfunctional, was not working at all for the first time in the history of Bangladesh. For the first time in the history of Bangladesh, almost all members of parliament went into hiding. For the first time in the history of Bangladesh, all the police stations were closed. So it was absolute chaos. So it took a few days for the new government to take over, And I think things will start improving because there are some sane elements in this new administration who will not try to play foul with India.
But Mr. Khalidi, let me ask you. Yes, they might be well-intentioned. They might understand. 1 second, Dr. Ranganathan. Just give me 30 seconds. Mr. Khalidi, while they might be well-intentioned, they might recognize the reality and perhaps at one level the power differential between India and Bangladesh. Isn't it a fact that this new interim administration is constitutive of also a group that makes no secret of disdain for progressive secular liberalism? It is an intensely conservative organization that openly canvasses for an Islamic state run on Sharia law. The HEI, as we know, the Hifazat-e-Islam has also decidedly revanchist, if not exclusivist tendencies, and it has attacked Hindus.
You see, that's not, they are some of the components of this new government, I think at least one of them is in the cabinet.
Yeah.
This protest, this campaign, anti-Hasina campaign, had overwhelming support from certain groups of people, that. And please remember that I'm here in Dhaka, in Bangladesh. So I cannot say something.
No, I understand.
At the moment.
So how then?
Yes.
Are you saying that things could?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. How then?
Because
can you say
there are some elements. I personally know some of these cabinet members. Their left-wing past. They are anti-Awami League, but they have this left-wing credentials, and they will probably try to do something about it because.
Okay. They will try to do something about it.
Because ultimately they have to do business with India.
Okay.
And it's a fact that the India borders on 3 sides.
That's true.
So
that is true. There is geography, but Dr. Ranganathan, there is also unfortunately an ideology.
Now, as with due respect to Mr. Khalidi, I want to say the following, that I just hope it is conscious watering down of religious zealotry and bigotry on display and not subconscious. Because I want to ask him, was Lord Krishna, was Lord Jagannath also with Sheikh Hasina? Why were their idols desecrated? Why were the Hindu temples burnt? Were the Hindu deities also with Sheikh Hasina, sir? Please do not water down the crimes that are happening because of religious fundamentalism. Please don't do that. That is even more hurtful.
Let me tell you, whenever Hindus or other minority groups, for example, Buddhists came under attack, based on a fake social media post, and in Ramu, in southwestern, is that southwestern? Southeastern Bangladesh, yes. Southeastern Bangladesh. So all these temples were, vandalized, people were attacked, their homes burned down. It happened. It's not just Hindus. Anyone who is vulnerable in the society. We're not a very advanced society. Anyone who is vulnerable, not just the Hindus or the Buddhists or the Christians. Anyone who cannot protest, who cannot stand up to them, comes on that.
Well, at least, Mr. Khalidi, you have been objective. I mean, I cannot fault you for not being objective. Obviously, you have your compulsions. You're sitting in Dhaka. It's not easy. I understand that.
It's never been easy.
But
even under Sheikh Hasina, it wasn't easy.
But in your honesty, unfortunately, viewers, we have also realized that hope doesn't live eternal for the Hindus there. And therefore, what Dr. Ranganathan was saying perhaps needs to be heard more loudly by our administration. Hopefully, the Indian government will do something. I leave it at this, viewers, on a prayer, and I'm wishing you in advance Happy Independence Day.